Hey Rachel, I have your questions here. It was a lot to type, so I thought I would just try to work through the questions through video the best that I can and see if I can do it all in one take. So your first question says, how do you define giftedness? What are some characteristics you consider you might use to define giftedness? I think giftedness is just something where a student or a person excels in an area or multiple areas maybe, or have a special talent that they can use to improve themselves or improve something else or be creative. I think when you define giftedness, obviously it's not common or not normal, so that would just be one of the characteristics that I use to define giftedness. But I think in education today there's a lot of different ways that we can find giftedness in kids, not just pure academic. So your second question asks, do you feel the method of identifying gifted kids at your school is fair? I mean, in the SOAR program and in this district, there's methods for putting kids through testing. They have to be referred, whether it's both by teachers and by parents, and they go through a battery of tests. One of them obviously is an IQ test, and they have cutoff scores and things like that. The district is turning to, instead of just only having kids be referred, that you will have a screener. So all kids in the district will be screened for gifted, all kids no matter what, so we don't turn any kids away. So I think it's fair. I mean, you're putting kids through a battery of tests and assessments and finding the commonalities between the other gifted kids so you can separate students who are gifted from students who are just, very good at their academics. Number 3 says, what kinds of services do you feel are best for gifted kids? I think anything that's rigorous, anything that pushes their creative abilities. Obviously, when we talk about pushing the limits, we're also trying to get regular education classrooms into that gifted thinking, with STEM, a lot of STEM integrated in classrooms, and I think that's really the big push right now, is anything that's STEM or STEAM oriented, and not just putting that just in the gifted. So I think that's one of the best services out there that we can do for all of the students, not just gifted. Are the gifted children here having intellectual, creative, and academic needs met? Yes, I think so. They spend a great deal of time working on a lot of projects that are not able to be completed in just one sitting. So in our gifted program, on Mondays, 4th grade comes to Harris, then Tuesdays is 3rd grade, Wednesdays is 2nd, Thursdays is 1st, kindergarten, obviously. So they are always working on different projects and things like that are going to really push their thinking. And I think when we have our SOAR nights in the spring, it's really evident in the projects that the students have completed with as much time as they've taken to create all of their projects. Your 5th question asks, what would you describe are some unique characteristics of gifted and talented students? As I referred to earlier, I just think it's students who have a knack or unique ability to be creative or push the limits with things. Just their thinking is outside the box. It's not on a level playing field with anybody else's. But I don't think that those students need to be gifted at every single thing they do. There's just some aspects of their intelligence that are just higher than other students, and that's okay. Your 6th question asks, what could we do to make the services better for the gifted children served at your school? I just think making sure the curriculum is rigorous and taught with fidelity, and we're using the appropriate resources within the curriculum and bringing in supplemental resources from outside the curriculum to help teach the students and keep them thinking in like a science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics kind of a mindset. Do you feel that the Common Core state standards meet the needs of the gifted students? I would think so. I know that sounds wishy-washy, but when I think of a gifted curriculum with Common Core, I mean, sure, it should align to it, but a gifted curriculum shouldn't be common. It should be more rigorous and more difficult and more challenging. So yes, I do believe the Common Core state standards meet the needs of the gifted students, but within the Common Core standards, the gifted program has their own curriculum. Just this month, over the last school year, the gifted curriculum had a rewrite. They rewrite curriculum every 7 years. So the school board adopted the new curriculum just last month, so they'll be doing a whole new curriculum next year. So I think that making sure it's taught with fidelity, it's rigorous, it's meaningful, and it has objectives that are able to be met and tracked. I think that's what's really important. And last one is, do you believe there are any misconceptions about gifted programs? If so, what are they? I don't know if there's any misconceptions. I think that sometimes parents will come in to enroll their student and automatically ask what they can do to get their student into the gifted program, even though it's all the way as low as early as kindergarten. We had parents last year who enrolled their kids in kindergarten and asked, when can I get my kid into the gifted program? Because naturally, I think every parent wants their student to be gifted, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if they're not, they're bad or anything like that. So I think one of the misconceptions is that also sometimes parents who have kids in the gifted program look at situations like, well, my kid's in the gifted program, he would never have struggles in this subject area, or he would never be in trouble. A lot of the times what we're finding is students in the gifted program have a lot of behavior needs and behavior concerns because sometimes it's not challenging enough for them, or they're thinking so fast and so far ahead of everything that they find themselves in trouble. And so one of the misconceptions is, I do believe that sometimes parents think, my kid's in the gifted program, he would never get in trouble, he would never do anything, or our kid in the gifted program should have all A's across the board in every subject area, or all 4s. They should never struggle. Everything should come easy to them. So I think that's a misconception, and I would think that you would want kids to struggle and challenge to a certain extent because it helps them grow and it helps them learn. So that's one of the big misconceptions I see about the gifted program. I think it's fantastic in the district, but we always try to let parents know, it's okay if your kid does not succeed the first time. Everybody does not have to win at everything the first time. And if you do win at everything the first time, or if your kid is told that they're fantastic or great at everything all the time, then they're really not learning because people aren't being honest with them. Success is about failure, and success is about learning and growing and challenging yourself. So helping to change the misconception in the parents' eyes that because a kid's in the gifted program doesn't mean that they get everything handed to them in the world. They're still going to struggle. They're just in a unique position where they get to attend a program within the district that really pushes their thinking. So I hope this answers your question. I apologize for not typing it to you, but there's so much text and so much thought that goes into these questions. I just wanted to answer them to the best of my ability. So hopefully you can submit this video, and that should answer your questions, or you can pull from it from whatever you need. Hope you're having a great summer, Rachel. Thank you. Take care.